You're highly welcome, my dear brothers and sisters out there. I'm glad that you just clicked to watch this message today. Today, I want to give a quick understanding. I just want to give you and make you understand the deeper mystery about who is a Jew. Because this is a very, very important topic that you need to be able to really understand. You need to sit back and you know the mystery, you know where you stand, you know exactly what is going on. Who is a Jew? Who is a Jew? This is a question a lot of people do not even know what is what. Now, I'm going to be giving you a very simple understanding. A very simple steps to understanding who a real Jew is. A Jew. Generally, I ain't talking about white or black. I'm telling it to you who is a Jew. We ain't talking about people who are from the left or from the right side this time around. We ain't talking about light or darkness. We're talking about who is a Jew. Now, a Jew is somebody, you need to be able to understand this. A Jew is somebody who has forsaken his birth. That is to say, he has already denied himself to be able to take on a new ideology that was being introduced to him. Yeah, let me just give you straight for example now. You see somebody like Abraham is somebody who has his own culture, right? So now, when he had his own culture, he had everything about his own life. He's living his own life. They have their own culture, Abraham. So, but Abraham was being called out from the awe of the Chaldeans. So what it tells us is, Abraham is somebody who has his own way of life. But then there is a new ideology that is coming to him. That is to say, a new call that is coming to Abraham. Talk about Abraham now represent, in this case now, Abraham represent all your traditions, all your local traditions, the way you are living your life, your traditions and every other thing. So this is what Abraham represents. So now in that Abraham that you are, so now a call came to you. Live your traditions. Live the way you are living. This is a common living way. You have to be elevated up. So come up. Live that land of the awe of the Chaldeans, the place where idolatry is. Live it. Come up. When you come up, you are no longer among the people who are on the low vibrational entities. This time around, you are not operating on the same principle that is guiding the beings that are on this plane now. In other words, you are no longer an ordinary being. Why? Because you are part of these people, but now you heard a call. You had a call, but what happened? You now took to the call that was being called to you to leave your father's house and your mother's house. Live the way you were being born. Live it. And come to a different idea, something different, something new. Did you know what that means? Did you really understand what that means? Yahushua said something. If any man will come to me, let that individual deny his father, his mother, his child, if that individual is not yet ready to deny all these things and yet deny his own self, that individual is not yet ready for him. What is he talking about? He's talking about before you can be his own follower, before you can come up there, you have to deny everything about your tradition. You have to do what? You have to keep it aside. Because we're talking about uplifting you up high. Because if you are in the tradition, all the tradition, this tradition says that his own tradition is better. The other one said that his own tradition is better. So how are you trying to convince somebody from this tradition to follow your own tradition? How is it going to work? Tell me, how is it going to work? You are from this tradition and you tell this individual that your own tradition is better than his own tradition. How do you think that he's going to accept you? How do you think that he's going to believe you? How do you think that he's going to follow you to his own tradition? You come to the Romans tell you that this is their own tradition, that you have to come to them. You go to the other people, they say that this is their tradition, you have to come to them. So tradition is something that is completely, they are all messed in their own way. They are following their own way of life. So, but then in the midst of this tradition, what happened? What happened? A call came, no matter every single individual. from what? From that midst of your own tradition. You have to be elevated. That is to say, you have been taken out. And now you are being taken into what? Into it. This is why you need to be able to understand that when we talk about Jews, Jew is what is an ideology. It's something that is in the mind. It's something that you have already abandoned, you left. That is you need to understand. This is the reason why I tell you need to be able to understand the deeper mysteries of the reason why the Most High, the Malachim told Abraham, the Most High called Abraham out from the house of the Chaldean to leave his father's house. Why did the Most High say that he should leave his father's house? Because he was trying to do what? To bring him into what? Into a place, a different dimension. This is the reason why you need to be able to understand that this is the reason why you need to be able to understand that Abraham was the first Jew. Because he obeyed the call. He obeyed that call to do what? To leave his father's house. When he left his father's house, he now was on what? On a journey. So now a journey that is taking him to a place where he know not. So in that journey, the only thing that is taking him to that place is only his what? His faith. Is the faith that he had on the one that called him. So this is the only thing that is propelling him. So who is that person? That is an ideology. That is a different mindset from the one that you have been born with. You need to be elevated. So you are there, you are somebody that you have your tradition. This individual has his tradition. Everybody has their own tradition on planet Earth. You have your own tradition. So there's no way you can convince one another to come to your own tradition. You can tell this individual to come to your own tradition and be following your own tradition. How do you think they are going to accept you? So an ideology has to come into play. So those who left their own ideology, those who left their own tradition, and they choose to take that ideology, that different mindset, to walk in that faith, those people are called the Jews. This is the reason why you need to be able to understand that the first Jew that is in the scripture that you need to be able to understand is what? Is Abraham. Come out from there and do what? Towards the land that I will show you. So that land is what? Is a far journey. But he had faith that in that land, the one that has called him had what is going to do, what is going to fulfill whatsoever. So there is faith in that individual who has gone what? So now that individual is no longer on the same equilibrium. It's no longer on the same level with the people who are still what? On the lower dimension, try to do what? Try to keep their own tradition or try to be on that lower self. Because now something higher has come up. They've been introduced on something high and a different mindset has already. So now that nation needs to be built. That nation, this is the reason why you hear about the nation of what? Of Israel. This is what? A congregation of what? Of a people who have a different mindset. People who have left. The congregation of the sons of Jacob. This is a congregation of people who have left their own what? They've already decided to do what? To go in that journey. This is what you need to be able to understand about when the Bible talks about what? About the Jews. Now you see that there are people who are trying to do what? To fake all kind of things about them Jews. But I tell you, I give you mysteries about the people who are called the Jews, the real Jews. And the people who have left whatsoever they were being born with. Now they have taken it upon themselves that the one that called them out and has given them that hope and has impacted that knowledge and has already given them, shown them that way, that individual, that spirit, that work is worthy to do what? To lead them to where he has promised them to. This is the reason why you see that Abraham is being recorded to Abraham to do what? To be the man of faith. Because he left his fathers. He was the first one that did what? That heard the call and did. He was the first one that did what? That decided to do what? To take that work with boldness. So this is why he is the first. You need to be able to understand. This is why he is. This is why Abraham is the first Jew. So when we talk about Jew, if you are still trying to mingle your own tradition and trying to mix it up of having a kind of, it doesn't work like that. Yahushua said it. If anyone has to come to him, you have to first of all deny you deny everything, including your own self. That is your talk about your whole tradition. And do what? And take up your stake. Take up your stake and do what? And have that faith. Have that faith. Have that mindset that he who has called you is worthy to bring you to where he has promised to bring you to. Some of you don't understand the deeper mysteries of what is going on in the scripture. But I'm glad that you're here today, my dear brothers and sisters out there, because I'm here to give you the understanding. I'm here through the Ruach of Yahushua, not by my own power, but through the Ruach of Yahushua to give you the real understanding of what is going on in the scripture. It is in me. It is also in my brothers and sisters who are out there. All they need to do is to be able to really see and understand the mystery of what is really going on. These are the Jews. These are the Jews. So this is the reason why you have to see that in the scripture, there's a lot of things. People who are trying to fight an ideology, you must be so down to be a traditionalist, and you are trying to fight an ideology, something you can never be able to defeat. You must be so dumbed down. You must be so dumbed down trying to fight an ideology. Something that someone has already made up his mind, and you're trying to fight it. He's working with an invisible force, and you're trying to fight it. You're just going to get yourself completely stuck. I tell you, you don't dare try to do that. But some of you who are trying to do it, you don't know what you are playing with. I tell you.